The Minnesota Vikings, adequate if not distinguished on defense throughout most of the season, surprised Cleveland with a crashing pass rush that all but shut out the Browns through the air. Cleveland quarterback Frank Ryan went down 8 times for losses totaling almost 70 yards, and the Browns gained only 25 yards passing for the entire game. The hustle and determination of the Viking defensive unit carried over to the specialty teams. Rookie Earl Denny recovered a Cleveland fumble to open the way to the game's first score. Relying exclusively on the hard running of Dave Osborne, number 41, the Vikings drove to the Cleveland goal. Osborne, a third-year man from North Dakota and one of the NFL's top ground gainers this season, smashed into the end zone to give Minnesota a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Osborne ignited another Viking drive in the second period with a jarring 12-yard gain. Quarterback Ron Vanderkellen found veteran Red Phillips for a 33-yard advance. With a 2nd and 6 on the Brown 14, Cleveland's Walter Johnson, number 71, in the center of the screen, piled up Bill Brown for no gain. On third down, split end Paul Flatley worked free in the end zone, only to drop Vanderkellen's perfectly thrown pass. Fred Cox salvaged the march with a 20-yard field goal, and Minnesota led 10-0. Ben Davis returned Cox's kickoff 42 yards and opened the way for Cleveland's first scoring march. The Browns' drive was marked by 2 significant, if not unusual, pass plays. The first was this second down pass from Ryan to Gary Collins. The ball bounced from Collins to Brady Keys and then back to Collins. This completion gave Cleveland a first down on the Minnesota 43. The Vikings secondary, in an overly zealous attempt to make sure that Collins did not stage a repeat performance, flagrantly interfered with a Cleveland flanker. This costly penalty gave the Browns the ball, 1st and goal on the Viking 1. Leroy Kelly slipped into the end zone to narrow Minnesota's lead to 3 points. From then on, Cleveland began to take control of the game. Walter Johnson, number 71, again in the center of the screen, charged through an attempted seal-off block and wrapped up Osborne for a 10-yard loss. Johnson's effort eventually forced the Vikings to punt. Leroy Kelly, displaying the speed and the savvy that once enabled him to lead the NFL in punt returns, coasted through the Vikings on an 87-yard touchdown. But the Browns, thus far the recipients of most of the game's good breaks, got a bad one. A clipping penalty nullified Leroy's return. The Vikings held a 3-point lead at the half and maintained this margin through the third period. Late in the final quarter, a recovered fumble gave Cleveland the ball at midfield. Leroy Kelly, who gained 123 yards rushing in this game, raced by the Vikings for his longest gain of the day, 30 yards to the Minnesota 11. With 1 minute to play and Cleveland trailing by 3 points, Kelly battered to the 3. Two plays later, Leroy vaulted into the end zone to give the Browns a 14-10 victory and sole possession of first place in the Capital Division.